Hi, welcome to Pre-Calculus. The topic today is using trigonometry to find the area of a triangle. Very simple topic. Let me just specify the main formula for this section, and then we go ahead and do an example and come back and explain some of these formulas. Area of a triangle, you have seen it since probably middle school. So you have a triangle here. You want to find its area. Many formulas available. The one that we are going to be practicing today is this one. What does it say? If you want to calculate the area, find two sides and the angle between them. So side times sine of the angle between the two of them divided by 2. That is going to give us the area we are after. So here's, for example, a side. Here's another side, and here's the angle between the two of them. That's for the first formula. And similarly, the same thing applies if you look at any other pair. The one you are used from high school is base times height over 2, and this is built on top of that. Another formula you might remember or have seen it in college algebra, sometimes referred to as the area formula of a hero of Alexandria. So S is half of the perimeter, A plus B plus C over 2, and the area turns out to be the following expression, that S times S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, and if you expand it, it becomes this, which looks a bit more daunting than what we are dealing with today. Later on in your calculus or future classes, there will be application of similar formula to something called area of triangles defined by vectors. So if you have a vector and another vector, you're going to learn what does it mean to do a cross product of the vectors, and what does it mean to take absolute value of that. And there's going to be a similar formula there that is essentially same as what we are doing today, but with a different notation. So and if you go to Wikipedia, you're going to see many more formulas, very interesting formulas there. If you're interested, let me know. The problem we are facing today is very straightforward. What is the area of this triangle? And they have already labeled it clearly for us. This is 9 centimeters, this is 11, this is 148 degrees, and all that we have to do is just to write out that the area, so 9 times 11 times sine of 148 degrees, whole thing divided by 2. And so we find this and then round it. So let's go ahead and crank up our calculators, and I seem to find 262310, and to the nearest hundredth, that would be the answer we are looking for. Okay, now back to something interesting. Well, where do the formulas themselves come from? We're going to take a look at that, and again I encourage you to look up Wikipedia and find out this formula there, and or find in your textbook and practice that one as well. Okay, so perhaps we can just borrow this picture here. If suppose we want to do this thing the way we did in high school, what do? We extend the triangle, drop the perpendicular. Well, if I wanted to find the area, what would I do in high school? I would say this is my base, this is my height, and I would have done base times height divided by 2. Well, I can calculate this height based on this right triangle. In this right triangle, this angle is 148, and the sine of 148 is equal to the sine of this angle. Now, if I take 9 multiplied by sine of 148, I'm going to get the height. So in this triangle, hypotenuse times sine of the angle, and sine of this one and this bigger one are the same by properties of the sine. So 9 times sine of 148 is height. Base times height. So if you want to write base times height divided by 2, base is 11, height is 9 times sine of 148, and then divided by 2, which is exactly what we are doing. Just to clarify, in a triangle that is not obtuse, and perhaps you'll have less problem with it. So suppose this is the angle C, so this is C, and say this is A, and say this is the angle B and the side B. So this is the angle C. Now I dropped the perpendicular here. Let's call this thing height H. Now in this triangle, sine of the angle C is the opposite divided by hypotenuse. So the height is a sine of C. Now if I don't say base times height over 2, it'll be base times height, which is a sine of C, divided by 2, and that is the formula that we have. Now whatever of these things you want to write first is up to you. The way we remember it is the product of the two sides times the sine of the angle between the two of them divided by 2. Now sine of that angle or sine of the exterior angle are the same. As a result, it also works for obtuse triangles. So this formula is very straightforward, and the rest of them can be built on top of the formula we just explained. So it was a very simple topic, and the next one is even simpler. And until then, good luck and God bless.